Hello and welcome to Spelling with Jules, a very low-tech version of PE with Joe, and obviously spelling and not jumping around. I just want to run through how these lessons will work. They'll be relatively short every day, Monday to Friday during school term, so you're really welcome to join. Accessible for all at different stages and ages, so let me know, do let me know if things are too difficult or you want me to add in anything. And we are going to run through first the 26 letters, starting with C, and also the different ways in which they can be spelt. So that wiggly line, what different sounds can be made. So that's the plan. I know some of my students will be watching, so hello, I'm missing you all, but I know there's others. I particularly want to shout out to Iris. Hello, I spoke to your mum yesterday, and I know you're going to be joining us. So please, I'm not as high tech, so I won't know your comments while I'm doing this lesson, but I will look at them afterwards. So if you want any shout outs, then do let me know. Right. So I always start my lessons, my students will know this, with a quick check-in to see if we're ready to learn and how we're feeling. So I just want to say I'm feeling pretty good. I did PE with Joe this morning with one of my daughters and ran around. I found those lunges really difficult. I think it must be my knees. And so I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling a bit nervous about this, but no, particularly for some it will be useful just to check in and do a bit of spelling. So I want to say as well, I was not a good speller when I was at school, and I've learnt it through lots of different techniques, which I hope to share with you. Also, I'm going to add in some handwriting, and I was not a good handwriter. I was told at school, probably when I was a lot of your ages, that if I'd been a boy, it was okay, but my writing was really messy. And my partner even said that my writing was like a spider had been sick on the paper. So I have learned how to write, and I am very grateful to somebody called Sheila who showed me how to introduce cursive writing, which I'm going to do. But if you're still at the stage of print, that's fine, because we're going to do both. And finally, just to say that I do quite a lot of read write ink work, but I've also used Soundswrite, who I find really useful. And I will through the weeks be giving you other links to other ways of learning to spell. Seeing spells is very useful, and there's a few others, so I will put those links up. But we're going to start really quickly with handwriting and saying the letter C. Okay, so the alphabet letter is C, and we have 26 letters of the alphabet, but we have 44 phonemes, which is 44 ways of spelling different ways of using those letters, and over 100, more than 170 ways in our language. We've got a very opaque language in England, so unfortunately for you, it's much harder to spell in this country than it might be, say, in Spain. So we will, hopefully, my challenge is to go through the 170 plus ways. It will vary depending on your accents. But we're going to start with this. So this is a C as a letter. The phonics sound is a K. If you can try that, you can go K, K, K. Begins like a cat. So K, K, K. And how we're going to write it, I'm going to first write it as a print, and then I'm going to do it as joined up. So how we write a K or a letter C is that we will start here and go round. Okay, notice it's halfway across the line. So there's a sort of imaginary line around here. Obviously, if you were doing that's lowercase, if you're doing a capital C, it would take up the whole line like this. Okay, and if you're still forming your letters, then you can go ahead. In fact, all of you can do this just to make sure you form it. Do nice big letters. You can go outside with a watering can, you can do it in chalk and then take it out with the watering can, but just make sure you're going from the top round to the bottom. Okay, that's all I ask at this stage. And then when you get to the stage where you're wanting to write as neatly as you can, then do this. Right, I am going to show you, though, how to put in a join. And this is, like I say, this is a friend of mine, Sheila, who's taught me this. And that is why we're starting with C or K, because it's C and cousins, okay? So with this form of learning to do cursive, to do joined up writing, we always start on the line, okay? So we're going to start on the line here, and then we go up and then back round, okay? So you could give that a go if you've got a pencil and paper, or you can do it in shaving foam. You can make pastry later, maybe make some cursive curly cuz or something. Okay, so you start on the line and you go round like that. Okay, so if you want to do those, that's fine. That's the join, or if you want to do this, okay, which is the printed version, that's fine too. If you want to do big strokes and massive things, go in the dust. If somebody in your family hasn't dusted yet, you can put your finger through the dust. You can go on your iPad. Okay, you can do it any way you like. Just make sure you get the form. We call that the formation. Make sure you get that right. Okay? So, now, the thing with a C is another interesting reason why I started with this is that there are two pronunciations. So we've got the C and the K, but there's also a third one. Okay, so it's the hard K for cat, and then there's a soft for cycle and city and centre. And it's worth knowing about that, even if it's quite early on in your spelling life, because it's for certain letters. So usually these ones here, I'm just going to rub out. One thing I forgot to bring from school was my board rubber. So I've got a nice tea towel, so I'm hoping that's going to work. And I'm going to show you the soft C. Okay, so we've got a hard C, so K for cats and caterpillar, and then a soft C for city, centre, and cycle. Now, if I write these three down, I just want you to have a look what you notice. Okay, we've got city, cycle, and centre. Okay. Have a look at the second letter. There's an I or an I. This is also used as an I sometimes, the Y, and an E or an E. Okay. So if you have your C and it has an I, an E, or a Y after it, then usually it's a soft C. Can you think of any more? And then you might want to be thinking about using a soft C and a hard C. Okay, can you think of any of either of those? Okay. Have a little think. Maybe write them down if you want to. If you're not at the stage where you can spell them yet, then you can draw pictures. Okay, and just think about the sound. Okay, so did you come up with cat for hard, for the hard C, or the k? And did you come up with any others for the soft? Okay, let's have a think. So we've got k, a, t, cat. So that's a k. Okay, and did you think about cell? Okay, for those in the 80s like me, you'll realise why I've done that. It's an old band for the rest of you called Soft Cell. Okay, and that is a soft, and yes, it's got an E at the end. Okay, it's got an E after it. Okay, let's go back to a k. Okay, and for some of you, if you're at the beginning of your spelling, you might just want to worry about the k sound. Okay, not worry too much about this, but it's still interesting as you're going around. Spelling's about being a detective and noticing differences and thinking, oh, that's interesting. I thought that was a k sound, but actually for this word, it's not. Okay, so let's think of another one. How about coat? Okay, so k, and then we have this sound here, which we will do probably next week. O, t. So you'll notice that's two letters making one sound. So we've got k, o, t. Okay, so you go outside and put your k, o, t on. If you're allowed to go for your daily walk or piece of exercise, you might want to put your k, o, t on. So that's another hard k. How about another soft one? I'm thinking of some nice happy word today. Okay, and again, you may not be at the stage where you're spelling celebrate, but you can certainly hear it. Okay, so we've got a S, and yep, it's got an F at the end of it again. Okay, so celebrate. Any others? How about something I'm intending to bake later? Ache. Okay, ache. Okay, I'll explain that one as well. That might be a week 3 when we start to look at those. They're called split digraphs, but don't worry about those yet. Okay, so that's, you can just about see that, can't you? I realise it's ache, cake. Okay, I realise you can't, you might not be able to see that, sorry. Okay, and one more under here that I'll just squeeze in so you can see in this camera for a, okay, I'm going to give you a clue this time. So you might have a builder, and the builder's got a mixer, okay, because they're putting down some bricks, and they need to put something in between. They have to mix that in the mixer. Okay, have you thought of the word yet? Cement. That's the word I was thinking of. Can I just squeeze it in there so you can see it? So cement. Okay. So see if you can think of 3 more hard k and 3 more soft. I'll give you a few minutes to do that, and then I'll give you some more. I'm going to rub these out so I've got a bit more space. So 3 more soft and 3 more of the hard ones. Bye-bye, soft cell. Anybody else remember? You might want to go back and have a listen to something from soft cell. I'm going to do that now to remind me after this. Okay, my tea towel's doing a good job of being a board rubber. All right. Okay, a few more. I've written a list here, so I'm going to go through them. Okay, so let's do that. Can you do that? Okay, if you think about here, you're going. All right, so we've got cat, calm, cannon, Corvette, cauliflower, canoe, courgette. We've done cake, convince. I'm going to convince you to come back tomorrow. Crate, crumb, coat we've done, caterpillar, and cow. Okay, they're all my hard k sounds. Okay, what about the soft ones that sound a bit like a s if they've got a certain letters after them? We've got cycle, city, centre, celery. Do you like celery? Cell, cement, celebrate, cellar. Some of you might go down to the cellar. Anybody know the Bones skeleton book where they go down to the cellar and there's the skeletons? So we've got the cellar, a cent, the American money, census, cemetery, and up there, what's that above you in your room? Ceiling. Excellent. Okay, so they're all our soft C's. What we're going to do next is write them in a sentence. So my students will know that we always write our words in a sentence afterwards, and we write silly sentences or sensible ones, it's fine, but using any of the words you've done. If you're not at the stage where you're writing or you're learning to spell but you hate writing or you can only spell certain words, that doesn't matter. You can write, you can draw it. Okay, so I'm going to draw my sentence so you can see. All right, and then you can do a mixture of drawing of the words you don't know and then write the ones you do. So I'm going to do I cycle. Okay, so I'm going to do a S and then I'm going to draw a very bad. Again, my pupils will know that I'm a really bad drawer. Okay, so that's supposed to be a bike. Okay, stop taking the mickey, you lot. Okay, I cycle to, I know how to write to and the, to the, and then I'm going to do city. So I'm going to do my s, and then I'm going to draw a city like that. Okay, so I cycle to the city, and then this is centre. Okay, so I'm going to do my s there, and that's the centre of my circle. Okay, so I've used cycle, city, centre, okay, for my soft. And then I've put obviously a capital letter at the beginning of my sentence and a full stop at the end of my sentence. Okay, so that's my soft one. Now I'm going to do a sentence with a hard C. Okay, and I'm going to do the, and I'm going to do a capital because it's the beginning of a sentence and I know how to write the. Okay, and then I'm going to do cat. That's his whiskers. Yeah, all right, it's really bad, I know. I'm sure you can all do better. Okay, and that's my k. Okay, the cat, and then I'm going to do came. Now I know how to spell came, but if you didn't, I'm sure you could come up with a drawing of your own. Okay, to, it's a bit harder to draw this one, but am I going to attempt eat? Okay, came to eat. Okay, oh Lord. Okay, right. So that's my k, and that's my k. Cat came to, and then this is somebody eating. Okay, give him a bit of hair. Okay. Oh, there you go. He's eating. Okay, so the cat came to eat. What did he eat? My, okay. You can't see it. Okay, I'm going to go here. Okay, my cake. Okay, the cat came to eat my cake. Full stop at the end. Okay, I could have added crumbs, but I've run out of them. Okay, so I cycled to the city centre. Okay, that's my soft C's. And the cat came to eat my cake. Okay, so I've used 1, 2, 3 hard and 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 3 hard C's here and 3 soft there. Okay, have you done any better than me? Let me know by tomorrow and I'll read some out if you've made some more sentences. Right, so that's our sentence. Now we're just coming up to the end of the 15 minutes, so we're just going to do a little bit more and then we will finish. So I think these sessions are probably going to be about 20 minutes. I reckon that's about right. So your brain is not overloaded with different sounds. So I want to go through a little bit more and then tell you what we're going to do next week. Okay, so firstly, when you're learning to spell, particularly if you struggle, then you want to be making it as multisensory as possible. So that's why writing in the shaving foam, saying it, hearing other people say it, see it in words, okay, and writing it, even feeling it if you can do it with Play-Doh, but also feeling it here. So k, k is very different, isn't it, to so feeling it here. Okay, so making it as multisensory as possible. And we'll always do the phonic sound, the k, the alphabet sound, which is the C, and then any other variations we might look at with letters. Like today we've looked at how C can sometimes be used as a soft C for cycle and city and centre, etc. All right, so that's our lesson. Now, the last thing I want to add in to our lesson at the end of each lesson is to look at some what we would call maybe irregular words, tricky words, you might know them as, words that don't necessarily follow a phonic pattern, but that we use an awful lot. Okay, so we need to memorize these. So we've got I. Okay, so I am doing a spelling lesson today. That's a capital I, and that's what we say. Okay, we've got me. Now, actually, once you know this letter as an E, then that's fine, isn't it? but you may be at the stage where you know that as an E at the moment. So, E, okay, me, not me. Okay, so you need to learn that. All right, me. Okay, we're doing lots of about people. Okay, for she. Again, we'll learn sh probably next week, but at the moment, so that S you can't hear at all, can you? Or the he, so it's a sh, and then not an E, an E. So sh, E. Okay, two sounds. Sh, E, she. Okay, so you're going to have to learn how to spell that as well. And then he. All you got to do there is take the S off, haven't you, from the she? Okay, so you've got she, take the S off, he. Okay, so he. And the last one, if you put she and he together, or me and I, or you, we get a we. Okay, and again, if you think about the we and poo, then it's two E's, but this one is w, and then an F, but we know that for E. Okay, so we. All right, so that is the sound. They're the ones I want you to try and memorize to spell. All right, so you've got, and we'll test these tomorrow. So you've got we, he, she, me, and I. Okay. And the final thing I'm going to do is I'm always going to try, I'm learning British Sign Language at the moment, so I'm going to sign the letters as well. So there we go. Okay, that's to say C. And you always use, if you're right-handed, you tend to use your right hand for a C. If you're left-handed, you would use your left hand. Okay, so that's a C or a K. Okay, that's me done today, 20 minutes. So I hope you've enjoyed it and it's been helpful. Tomorrow we are going to be doing A and A, and we're going to do two more, A and A and O and O. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.